Anyway, I got on here because I had a lot on my mind about yesterday. I'm gonna wait until we have some people. Okay, hi everybody. I got on here because I wanted to talk to everyone in St. Landry Parish and City of Opelousas. We had 2 events yesterday. We had Bully Box, and they combined with a program called The Funeral is Canceled at the Ambly building. And then we had Eric Williams' program, Guns Down, Power Up. And that was at Chastity Warren Davis's office, I believe. And they were both at the same time. They started around 9 or 10 and went on till 3 o'clock. You had plenty of time to go out there. Plenty of time to bring your kids to hear these messages. Plenty of time to try to invoke change in the city of Opelousas. It's easy to sit behind a keyboard and a screen and complain and about, oh, there's nothing in Opelousas. Oh, there's too much violence. Oh, there's too much gun violence. Oh, there's too much crime. But yet, nobody shows up for these events. Yeah, we got a few trickle little people, but there's no community backing. But yet, the minute a tragedy happens, like murders we had between November and December, y'all want to get on here and say R.I.P. Oh, they died young. But yet y'all don't show up. Y'all don't try to help make change. We got these few people that are trying to make change in the community, but they're only a few people. We need the entire community to come together. And yes, I know some people do not like Shauna, that she's intimidating, that she's loud, that she's opinionated. Sorry, Shauna, those are other people's opinions, not mine. I see your passion, I see your heart, I see your caring. I love you, girl. I don't always agree with you. Well, not you in particular, just some of your viewpoints. But I don't let it stop us being friends. Anyway, but the point I'm trying to make is, y'all may not like Shauna. Y'all may not know Eric. But the point is, I'm sharing their events. And even if y'all don't like these people or don't know these people, go out, because it's going to take the entire city coming together, putting aside petty differences, because y'all can sure put aside petty differences and run into each other at the store, or go to the barbecue fest or fair, or when something happens, go to candlelight vigils or balloon releases and show up. But the minute somebody tries to have an event to try to invoke change, crickets. And it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous that we have, I don't know about at Eric's program, but yesterday at Bully Box, we had Parish President Jesse Bellard and Chief-elect Greg Twin LeBlanc, even though he showed up late. But he was still there. And yes, we had OPD there. Chief McClendon wasn't. He was occupied, I'm pretty sure. But we don't have the backing of city government. They don't show up for us. They'll show... The candidates show up just to take pictures, and then we don't hear from them. Morning, Shauna. But, I mean, it's ridiculous. Y'all can hide behind a keyboard and say, oh, Opelousas is going downhill. Oh, Opelousas there's too much crime, oh, this and that. But yet y'all don't come out and help us. Thank you, Shauna. Love you, girl. But yeah, it's easy to sit behind a keyboard and, hey, Charlie. It's ridiculous, and I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. I just know we need to put aside petty differences and come together for the city of Opelousas. I know that it breaks my heart riding through town when we have all these potholes and water system, rusted water to the point where it looks like somebody had a period in the water system. Sorry to be graphic, but it's true. That's what the water looks like sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes. And it's sad, because we pay these water bills, and some of them are outrageous, and yet that's what we get. Now, there's so much that we could be doing, and it breaks my heart riding through Opelousas because we look like a war zone. There's nothing for the kids. There's so much crime and violence. And the community, we don't have a village anymore. We don't have people going to Momo and Papa's for Sunday dinners. We lost that. I mean, I miss growing up in Opelousas. Yeah, it didn't look, it was still kind of bad, but it wasn't nearly what it is today. Where you could go in these neighborhoods and ride bikes without worrying about your kid getting abducted or shot, or maybe I was just silver sheltered. I don't know, but I was heartbroken too, Shauna. Don't give up, though. Don't give up, because these kids need us. These kids need you. These kids, like I told you in text earlier, sometimes walking God's path is walking without earthly people. You got a few lucky people. You got a few people behind you. And I don't know what the answer is. I feel that way too, Shauna, but we can't lose hope, because hope is all we have right now. If everybody loses hope in Opelousas, then Opelousas is definitely going downhill if we all lose hope. At least we still have a few people who have hope and see Opelousas' potential to get better. It's ridiculous how we look like a war zone. I'm rambling, but I don't know what else to say. It leaves me out of... I know, Shauna, I know you're tired and frustrated. I'm tired and frustrated too. Need to take a break and just get back on the horse. And that's fine, Shauna. You can cry, but like I was saying earlier, people may not always like you, Shauna, but all this hate and division between everybody, black, white, Hispanic, different religions, all this hate and division, it's not going to help nobody. Yes, I understand there's bad people who do bad things against each other, but hatred and division isn't going to solve it either. We need to put all those petty differences aside and come together to try to make change. I know I'm tired, but I'm not giving up either, Shauna. Exactly. Different colors with the same problem, because at the end of the day, we got kids dying in the streets. We got kids being abused at homes. We got disabled being bullied. Everybody, how's the saying go? Everybody's going through something. Yes, hate only causes destruction. How's the saying go? Divided we fall, united we stand. And a lot of people are divided right now. Kids committing suicide, and they don't tell their parents. They bottle it up. They lock their doors. They put on this mask because they think that's what they gotta do until it's too late and they commit suicide. Oh, Shauna, that breaks my heart. It's ridiculous. Yeah, even family. I mean, you got families not talking to each other and holding grudges over petty stuff. Now, I'm not saying don't cut off the toxic family. Yeah, do that because you don't need toxicity in your life. There's just so much that's wrong with the world, wrong with society, and we're gonna have to come together to fix it. And I don't want to offend any of the people watching that are not religious, but the people that are religious and believe in God, it's going to take our faith, our hope, and our trust in Him to provide what we need. He may not always provide it. He may not always provide what we want or on time that we want. And that's where the virtue of patience comes in. And that is one virtue I struggle with. But it's going to take coming together and uniting, because we got kids dying. And at the end of the day, it don't matter whether you black, white, Hispanic, a cop, none of that. A teacher, we all bleed red. We all bleed red. And we're not leaving this world without dying, but some of these kids are dying. And not of natural causes. And it shouldn't be common for parents to have to. Now, I'm not saying like in medical cases that's different. Yes, Shauna, we all hurt. And you know we all hurt. And you know what somebody's going through. Because we all are basically on autopilot. We go through it, we put on our mask, we just do what we gotta do and just hide ourselves back at home. We don't communicate, we don't socialize as much. Society, some society has this sense of entitlement where they think they above the law. There's just so much, and it breaks my heart. We got bullying, and yes, and it starts at home, and a lot of these kids don't have good home lives. But we used to have the village. We used to, if you would go play at somebody's house, that their parents were responsible for you until you went home. And I'm gonna tell y'all that when I was with my uncle, who's my godfather, we were at my grandma's. I was probably like 5 years old. And me and his kids were running at my grandma's house. and he fussed his kids to stop running in the house. Well, he directed it at all the kids, but I thought, he's not my dad, I don't have to listen to him. Well, Mom was there, and she stopped me. She said, Jamie, didn't you hear your Uncle Brett? Stop running. And I said, he was talking to his kids. He's not my dad. And she said, true, but he is your godfather, and he can whip your ass. And sorry for saying ass on live, but it's true. So after that, I kind of learned to respect whatever adults said. Yeah, adults may not always be right, but they still deserve respect unless they're disrespecting you. And even then, if you're young, you kind of just walk off and let them cool down, because you don't know what they're also going through. Because some of these parents, they may be disrespectful to their kids and stuff, but they're hurting inside. Maybe the baby daddy left, or they going through a messy relationship, or they're addicted to something, or they were abused as a child. Everybody goes through something. And until we all realize that and stop holding our pain inside until we explode like volcanoes, and we are vulnerable enough to admit that we're broken, and other people see our brokenness and they come help us. Until we put aside all our petty differences and come together, nothing's gonna change. And all this hatred and division, and not just the city of Opelousas, not just our crime rate and our nothing for the youth in Opelousas, and everything, everybody going to Lafayette because that's where everything is for the kids. Our city of Opelousas, our schools look like basically jail cells. That's why kids don't want to go. Whenever I was at UL, I had to observe for at some schools for some classes, and some of these kids, they would go to school smiling and happy. Yes, some of these kids go to school happy and smiling because they have good teachers. That's it. That is it. It's not because of the school, because I've seen pictures of some of the lunches that are provided. It's not the same as when I grew up, and it breaks my heart. Breaks my heart. And it breaks my heart that there's no community support on these programs to try to make a change. We need our elected officials. We need the police department involved. We need the sheriff's department involved. Thank you, Jesse Bellard, for being there. Thank you, Greg Twin LeBlanc, for showing up. And the judge from Lafayette that showed up, and the pastors and evangelists that showed up yesterday for Shauna's bully box thing at the Ambulance. But until we get support from everybody in the community, or at least half, instead of a few little crickets, nothing's gonna change. Yeah, it's a few sparks, but we need more than just a few sparks, because sparks fizzle out. That's all. That's it. I mean, Eric with Guns Down, Power Up, his wife Marie, Shauna, the people that fight for downtown businesses like Seth, Roban, and until everybody comes together and puts aside their pay differences and comes together for the one thing we all have in common, which is making a better Opelousas. We're only a few people. We're only a few sparks. And those few sparks fizzle out unless it's more than just a few, and then it can become a fire of change. And I think that's all I'm gonna say for right now, because I can keep rambling and I'm gonna get emotional, and I don't like crying on camera. So, everybody, I hope y'all got a message from this. I hope y'all have a great Sunday, a blessed Sunday, and let's go